OMT Online Dynasty, welcome back everybody. Week 3, game of the week featuring the number 1 ranked Toledo Rockets, our defending national champions, headed up by IQ Truth, taking on the number 7 Tulsa Golden Hurricanes and our guy Wes. In a monumental Mountain West clash early here in season number 5. Now, when it comes to Old Dominion, unfortunately, due to some severe weather and some PlayStation Network issues, we are just going to have a straight sim against King Poppy Sosa in East Carolina. That's why there was no video for our Week 3 game. Things happen. It's unfortunate, but we just have to kind of move on and deal with it best we can. Then Old Dominion has back-to-back bye weeks, so it's going to be about a week until we see Old Dominion here again, but we will have some Game of the Weeks, and we will have some streams of an offline dynasty we are going to do with Northern Illinois, trying to win that national title using the Navy playbook, something we failed to do in College Football 25 even after 30 seasons. I still remember getting to a 94 overall team and then losing to an FCS team during a sim. That was fun times. But we're going to be streaming that both here on this YouTube channel and over on Twitch, twitch.tv/oldmantrying28. That's also where we stream all of our user dynasty games. So if you're interested, hop on over there and check those out. And also do me a huge favor on this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, all that stuff. It really does help a ton. Now we can get into the meat of the action here today in beautiful Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's not actually a night game, but this is one of the better pictures I can find. They got us way up in the clouds doing the pregame for this one. So Toledo, like we said, the defending national champion, IQ Truth, going to be in that Notre Dame offense. Going to be seeing a lot of gun cluster, a lot of very ultimate team style offense, where it's be a lot of the same formation, a lot of different hot routes, trying to keep that defense guessing versus Tulsa, who's going to be in the San Jose State, the spread and shred offense, a mix of veer and shoot, the mix of the Hawaii run and shoot. Super fun playbook. I'm a fan of it for sure, and not one we've seen run super often. So very interested to see how Wes is going to be able to do. And both of these teams, God squads, absolute God squads. They are in that top conference, the Platinum Conference, the Mountain West, and the teams are starting to show that. Toledo actually jumped a huge overall from last season, which winning the national title, it makes sense. You probably get better transfers, get a whole lot of extra fun things, I would assume, because that's never going to happen to little Old Dominion. Well, maybe it will. Who knows? Not in College Football 26, but maybe in College Football 27. So Toledo versus Tulsa. Let's go check out the teams here. 99s across the board for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, up to a 3.5-star program. Was really working his magic here with these Tulsa boys. And one thing we do know about Tulsa, they are not afraid to play dirty. Keep an eye out for some different cheap shots. Who knows what that defense is going to do. Wes has those boys win at any cost mentality. But throughout the depth chart here, we've got Josh Ramey at quarterback 1, resistance, step up dot, and on time 90 overall. But hiding behind him, it's almost reminds me a little of the JMU situation, how they use Cam Dyer. I'm wondering if that's what Tulsa is going to do here with Deuce Knight, bring him in to do some quarterback runs and things like that. And I will say I can see why Landman transferred out. If this is the QB room he was competing against. So some very solid core. I mean, this team's going to be stacked. Both teams are going to be stacked. This is just the life in that Platinum Mountain West Conference. There's some crazy teams in here. Ben Canaday. How did Popeye get so strong? By eating a can a day. 97 overall, 96 speed. Just crazy. Platinum shifty, sidestep 360. Pretty much everything you could ever want. Then Jeffrey Darnold, this north-south receiver with platinum downhill in 94 speed. And I remember this guy used to be the starting halfback for Tulsa. Maybe it was even just last year. It was sometime recently. Now relegated to 4th on the bench. It is sad to see, but just studs everywhere at halfback. Wide receiver, we're going to see some monsters here as well. Nate Down, 6'4", ton of abilities. Jared Sturm, a Sturm is a Kerman. 6'2", a ton of abilities. 94 speed on Javon. Like, the abilities on this team is preposterous. Like, poor old Marvin Abraham just sitting here at 6 with nothing going on. Impact Dev though, so who knows? We'll see next year, but yeah, just loaded. These teams are just going to be loaded kind of across the board. That's kind of what we're going to have to expect. Alex Earl taking time off from their social media spat with Alex Cooper. I think those are the two. 78 overall, 82 speed at tight end. Offensive line is going to be incredibly good. JC Garrison, ton of abilities. I mean, there's just abilities everywhere. It's like it's almost like when we do a video on the main channel and are using a tier 1 team, it's like, what do you even say at a certain point? The team is just loaded. The team's absolutely stacked. And the defensive line of Tulsa has been their calling card for years now. always had put together just an unbelievable defensive line, and that is still the case. Asher on one side, quick jump duress, takedown, pocket disruptor. Other edge, another quick jump duress, takedown, pocket disruptor. A couple platinum quick jumps in there. Kevin Wynn at D tackle. Just looking ahead to what this defensive line is going to do to Old Dominion makes me sad. It makes me sad already. It's going to be devastating. Linebackers, Jarek Powell. What a fitting last name for a linebacker that is. Blow up, wrap up, an elite dev trade junior. So he might go pro, but next year, if he doesn't, that guy is really going to be a freaking problem. Mike linebackers, we got Jamison Slay, Girl, House Call, and wrap up, 89 speed. Byron Berry. I mean, yeah. The team's just insane. It's just insane. It makes my brain can't comprehend how putting together a team quite like this. Look at just all-star depth traits across the board too. So that is Tulsa. A preposterously good team was put together here. Let's go take a look at IQ Truth and his Toledo Rockets. Jump the boys up to a 93 overall here. Also a 3.5-star program led by the Heisman Trophy winner, not this past season, but the year before. Shout out to Mr. McCray of Appalachian State. I hope that was your last name, who was our Heisman Trophy winner last season. But Maddox, 88 overall, just a good quarterback, man. This is going to be another one. It's like, there's just only so much you can say about each of these teams. This guy, I'm just going to call Emmanuel, 90 overall, 94 speed, some good abilities on him. Getting an elusive bruiser at 94 speed is kind of insane. Old Sammy Two-Step is back. He had a redshirt season last year. Not the best running back on the depth chart at all, but my favorite. Number 2 on the depth chart, number 1 in our hearts. And really, I mean, he should be like number 4 on the depth chart behind Carpenter and T. Isaacs, gold shifty, super fast halfback. Wide receiver wise, we are going to have JT Truth with his cutter and sure hands. We're going to have CeeLo Brown, CeeLo Green's forgotten nephew, I guess, because their last names are different. Sure, we'll go with that. Mr. Spear here, press pro, and Flowers, 90 speed. So, I mean, wide receiver wise, you'd give the edge to Tulsa here for sure, but I love the halfback room that Toledo has. I mean, an elusive bruiser that's that fast is just disgusting. Tight end, Iced Hennessy and Iced Tea. Kind of like the Ice Cube and Iced Tea of college football 26 at tight end here for Toledo. Offensive line, this is going to be pretty important for the Rockets considering the defensive line of Tulsa. Love what we're seeing on our left guard here. We need to see some good abilities on these guys, so hopefully they can hold up a little bit. And we do have a very solid offensive line with Toledo, but I still think that Tulsa defensive line is just going to wreak some absolute havoc. At defense here for Tulsa, or for Toledo, I'm going to mix those up a lot. That's just going to happen. We do have one silver quick jump on Timmy Knott. Defensive tackles, very good one here with Trent Jewell, 91 overall, ton of good abilities. Some more grip breakers here on Demetrius Fuller. So a very solid defensive line. Nobody's going to compete with Tulsa's defensive line, but all things considered, very, very good. Alejandro Thrasher at Sam linebacker with bouncer. House call and robber on the user. This man has been a menace for quite some time in this league. Now the starting Mike linebacker for Toledo. Will linebacker Josh Sahara. And obviously, as you can tell, Toledo does go in and edit some of the names. I don't care. Go for it, brother. Dennis Charles, our corner one with gold house call, 98 speed, 93 speed, blanket coverage on Terrell Smoker, take candy, jammer, and house call. And it's just, it's fun going through the depth chart because it's like, I never actually go through and see what he's named some of these guys. So it kind of catches me off guard sometimes. Makes for a good time. Jesse Burr. Too bad there's nobody on Toledo's offense named Hamilton. Would make for a fun duel there. Strong safety is going to be Josh Salas. So that is how these two teams are stacked up. Like I said, a couple just unbelievable squads we got on hand here. So throughout this game as well, we are going to have our first game breaks of the season. We actually had a decent amount of user games here. So we're going to have game breaks of UAB and USF. UAB was this close to being game of the week 3 times in a row because they played an incredible game against the Bulls down in South Florida. We'll have some halftime highlights of some of our other user games that happened throughout the week. And just for anybody new, this is a 32 user online dynasty. We all started group of 5 teams that were 2 stars or below. We're in week 3 of season 5. Hence some of these guys having such preposterous teams. There are going to be some rule changes and things we do in college football 27 to hopefully not have 99 overall teams by year 5. So that is how the teams are set up. That's everything we got going. Oh, and if you are potentially interested in joining the Dynasty in the future, it is all done through the Discord. The link for that is down in the description. Just hop in there, make a post, DM me, whatever. Just let me know that you want on the wait list. I will get you on there. That's all carrying over to College Football 27. We do have like 22 or 23 people on it as of right now, so it might be a little bit before you get a spot, but as long as you got some patience, that spot will open up for you eventually. So I think that's all we got to go over here before the game. Let's just go ahead and hop into it. Best of luck to our guys IQ Truth and Wes. Let's take it to Tulsa. I'm going to be trying something a little different with this setup here. I'm going to keep the green screen up, and I'm just going to be down in this bottom corner. It was just a hassle taking that green screen up and down and moving everything around, so let's just keep it all in one spot. So now we will get into our game. This is all going to be from Wes's perspective, so we'll see his defense against the Toledo offense. Coming out in this deuce close immediately, first thought is that RPO read Y flat. That play is so freaking annoying, or read flat wheel, whatever it is. That is not what it's going to be. It's a little bench. We take a quick out route. Looks like that is iced tea on that completion. For Toledo, and keeping up some pace early here, going straight to the no huddle, staying in our deuce close. Yeah, that's iced tea on the left, that's iced Hennessy on our right here. There is that RPO right to the flat to iced Hennessy. Good defense though by Toledo, keeping them short of the line to gain there. Early 3rd and 3. See what the Rockets are gonna go to, staying in some deuce close. Typically I don't watch these games as they're going on live. I'll watch bits and pieces of it, just so I can keep some sense of not knowing what's happening and give genuine reactions. Like, I know what the final score is, but like from a play-to-play perspective, look at all the stars on the field here, just by the way. This is crazy. Oh, we've got the sharp corner out over there. JT Truth taking that one down the sideline. Burns the Tulsa defense for a huge gain on the 3rd and short for the Rockets. And Tulsa also wearing, I mean, it looks like they're coming straight out of 1920 with like the beige pants. And like, it almost looks like they have old leather helmets on. Shout out to Tulsa. Staying in deuce close, kind of overloading the right side, going with a little flood over there, looking for another corner route. That one, yeah, that bench play again. I think it's bench, and then he throws like a drag or something and really tries to flood the one side on there. Tries to hit the corner out, that time incomplete. A 2nd and 10 coming up for Tulsa, or for Toledo. Like I said, I'm going to do that a lot. And like usual in these, we are going to just watch kind of the full first offensive drive of each team, and then start jumping around a little bit. And we have the game breaks we're going to be jumping to here as well. Motioning our halfback over to the left. That is Emmanuel in the backfield with AJ Maddox. Definitely have to watch him sneaking out on like wheel routes and things. He loves using that, and there's that pressure. And the D-line, not to say too much, but that's exactly how our game started with Tulsa last year, but that was picked and like taken back for a touchdown. A lucky break for Toledo that the Tulsa defensive lineman did not come down with that. The pressure gets in there. Good coverage on that back end too. Nowhere really for Toledo to go. Ours is the incompletion at least. So again, I mean, we have to watch that halfback out on a wheel route. I mean, I think he does it more out of cluster than out of deuce close. I'm surprised there's been a whole drive of deuce close. But yeah, it sneaks the halfback out. That time on a flat, we kind of have our tight end going on the wheel route there, essentially trying to open up some space underneath. We can take that to Emmanuel, get it to him in space, and who knows what can happen. But the defense all over him. Staying in deuce close here for 4th and 7. Toledo deciding not to take their points, trusting in the Rockets offense to keep this drive alive and hopefully end up getting 7. It is going to be some cover 4 here. Oh no, we just audibled, that looks like, into a cover 3. We got a single high safety, maybe some man. No, it's definitely cover 3. He's got a hook curl on his user. The amount of stars on the field here is crazy too, by the way. He has that setting on where it's like things are a little bit bigger, and it's unbelievable the amount of stars on the field here. Got to stay on that drag. The defensive line comes in again. Another great back end defense there from Tulsa. Just nowhere for Toledo to go, and you have to get people open so freaking fast against this Tulsa defensive line, and that's exactly why that edge comes flying in there. He gets the hit on Maddox, forces the incomplete pass, and Tulsa gets the turnover on downs. That Tulsa defensive line making their mark early here. Now can the offense answer back in kind? Here comes a little 5-man rush, looking for that out route over on the right. We got it. We got it. That is number 9, Jeff Falk, coming down with that ball from Josh Ramey. And that's, again, something we want to keep in mind is that if we're going to see Deuce Knight coming in for any design QB runs or things like that here for Tulsa, taking that run right up the gut, Ben Canada. Nice little gain of 7. Okay, and keeping the pressure on. This is a part of that San Jose State that spread and shred is definitely keeping the pace up, going with some no huddles, keeping that defense on their heels here. That's exactly what Tulsa is trying to do, going for the deep shot, and we had it. We had the touchdown on that one, but this time it is the Toledo defense getting in, getting that pressure. Eventually number 2 breaks free of that offensive lineman, forces that incompletion, saves the touchdown, because that boy was wide open deep down the field there. 3rd and 3, and looks like we're going to some veer and shoot type offense here for Tulsa. Gonna go with the run. Trust that pulling guard to get in there. In Canada, though, the Toledo defense flies down to help out, and now Tulsa's going to be going for it on 4th down. Can Toledo's defense answer and do just what we saw Tulsa's defense do and get this ball right back to the offense? See, this is why I don't love, like, I can never trust these option routes. I've never learned really what they do. It's on me. It's 100% on me. We're going to try to sneak our halfback out on a little wheel over here to the right here as well. Maybe looking for the quick drag, looking for the wheel, and Canada with a secure catch gets it down, going to the ground, because that Toledo defender was ready there to knock his block off if he did a regular catch on that. Sneak a little play action here. Not going to have X, potentially have A, but that's good user defense there by Toledo. Make it look like you're taking that underneath drag, then drop back and take that more intermediate in that was looking like it was going to get open. Tulsa tries to get a little playmaker going up the field, but the quarterback takes one step over the line, and it's going to end up being a 2nd and 14. Now Tulsa coming out in a trip set here. 3 to the short side. Let's see what we're going to be working with. Just going to go an RPO and give it to our guy Canada. And look at that beast go. Rumble, big man rumble. Get off me, Toledo defender. Canada picking up the 1st down all by himself on that 2nd and 14. That guy is a stud. That guy's going to be a gigantic problem. So now 1st and 10, ball at the 34 for us just to reset here for a second. Still 2.5 minutes left in the first. Toledo going through their audibles, going through their different plays. Looks like we're going back to that same thing. Took a little bit too long. One of the worst features in the game. You try to audible or hot route or do anything within like 7 seconds, you're going to get a false start. Very stupid. Hopefully something that is not going to be in college football 27. So we got 3 over on the right. Ooh, this looks like really good defense for what Toledo's trying to do here. We had good numbers in the box so we can get in there for that run. We still had our 3 guys over on the right to watch that RPO. Just wasn't really any great option for what Tulsa could do out of that set without risking potentially getting another delay of game. So now we are going to go with a play action, try to burn them deep here. We potentially had our RB, but we're going to go to the left side, a little jump ball to Mr. Falk, unable to come down with that one. A 3rd and 13 now for the Rockets. That guy on the right, I think it was R1. It looked like he was getting open, but he was also looked like he might have been running out of bounds. So I'm not sure we could have thrown that even if we wanted to. Now on a 3rd and 13, looks like we are going with one of those sprint out plays out of here. Yeah, quarterback rolling out. We could potentially just dump that one down to our halfback. Going to take, see, it was Deuce Knight. On a sprint out play, it is Deuce Knight in that backfield. And I like how we kind of waited behind the halfback so we could have him try to go and block. He didn't, but I like the idea of it. It looks like, are we going back to that same thing here? Looks like a little nickel mint show blitz the linebackers from Toledo. Yeah, got the contains out there. Nowhere for Knight to go. I thought that was getting completed somehow. Knight with nowhere to go has to try to force one over the middle of the field, and Toledo's defense answers in kind to what we saw Tulsa do. Let's actually pause this really quick so we can go to our first game break of the day. I just don't want to risk missing anything here. First game break of the day here between UAB and USF. We got an early 2nd and goal for the UAB Blazers. Going out in, looks like this is that A slot, and it is going to be the quarterback run, and the quarterback finds his way in there. An early touchdown for UAB, making it a 7-point lead for the Blazers down in Tampa. Let's get back to our main event here. The first play after that turnover on downs, we'll see if the Toledo offense can get something going, or not really get something going. They had a solid first drive. Staying in that deuce close, I'm surprised. Surprised to see so much deuce close. You typically only see that people running like RPOs and things. And Maddox, nowhere to go downfield, tries to take off. Nobody wants to scoop it up until big man number 94 of the Golden Hurricane will just grab it his dang self. Maddox tries to make a play happen with his legs, but the Tulsa defense having none of it. Bring him down, force the fumble, scoop it up. And that Tulsa defensive line single-handedly is going to win games for this Golden Hurricane team. Those guys are just unbelievable. And Tulsa takes right back over at Toledo's 32-yard line, dropping back to pass, going for the quick little hitch, and boy was the user, that's his name, and it is the user of Toledo, awful dang close to making a play on that ball, but he is a step short of it, and that is a gain of 5 for the Golden Hurricane. Going back to our wide bunch here. So we got, yeah, I like this, a slant, a deep, and then just a streak, like a slant, a post, and a streak, all coming from that bunch side. Find Falk right underneath. Falk has definitely been the main guy outside of Canada for Tulsa here so far. We saw him try that jump ball earlier. He had that good contested catch on the first play of the game for Tulsa. So definitely seems to be a good go-to guy for the Golden Hurricane to have here. And there goes Canada right up the middle. We see his Heisman shifty starting to light up here. That is a dangerous, dangerous combination. A guy like Canada with Heisman shifty takes it all the way down to the 1, and Tulsa going right back to him, but a great gap shoot there by Toledo. If there's one thing we know about Toledo, the goal line defense is awful stingy. We saw it multiple times against Louisiana last year. We'll see. It's just because you're down at the 1. This is tough sledding here for the Golden Hurricane. We'll see what they can draw up to try to get themselves on the board. 30 seconds left in the first quarter here. Second and goal at the 3. Dropping back to pass. We're not going to have that drag. We're going to go right back to Canada, who beats him to the pylon, gets over to that flat, and whoa, pointing that ball. It was like 3D effect. Like we had our glasses on in the movies. That football was coming right into our face, but Canada, but Canada takes that one in, beats the man to the pylon. Touchdown, Tulsa, an early 7-0 lead. Toledo took that kick back to the 15-yard line. See, now we're going to some, is this cluster? I believe this is cluster. One of the best formations in Notre Dame. It's unbelievable. And the stunt comes in free, and another forced fumble. This time Toledo picks it up, but it's a safety. This Tulsa defensive line is such a freaking problem. It is unbelievable. The stunt comes in completely untouched, right in the middle of the field, right here. I believe it's this guy. Loops around, untouched, brings him down. The takedown lights up. The ball comes loose, and just like that. So the Tulsa defense, Maddox tries to scramble, fumble gets forced, scooped, Tulsa scores a touchdown. Very next offensive play for Toledo, the stunt comes in free, fumble forced, Toledo picks it up, but it's 2 points for Tulsa, and we've got a 2-score lead, all thanks to that Tulsa defensive line. Let's see what the Golden Hurricane can do with this momentum created by that defense. Now we're in a little bit of a pistol spread look. Here comes that big blitz, dropping back to pass. It's not a good ball by our quarterback there. That looked like we had him open on that crosser. It gets thrown behind him just a little bit, and well, no harm. I was going to say no harm, no foul, but we did give up 2 points. But at least Toledo's got the ball back here, down by 9. Ball at Tulsa's 37-yard line. One more play here before we get to the second quarter, and now I believe we get to the gun cluster portion of the game from Toledo. Been all deuce close up to this point, but I like the idea. Mix things up a little bit. Give it to your guy right up the gut. A nice run there by T. Isaacs, taking that one for a first down and taking us to the second quarter. Yeah, I like the idea of kind of changing up your offense here, because we saw the deuce close. We were moving the ball fine, but just that pressure was getting in unbelievably well. So let's mix it up a little bit and going back to that halfback draw again. I like what Tulsa's doing there. Use that safety, come down, help out with a run. Anytime that quarterback like jumps up like that, I believe that means it's the halfback draw. I don't think there's any other play that does that. Staying in some match coverage here. Looked like was this cover 9, which I think works pretty good against this kind of offense. And it did. I mean, that defender was right there on him. But number 8, Evan Spear, able to make the catch and break that tackle, get 5 yards on that, which could have been intercepted, maybe. It was close. Got to watch right over the middle there. Stay down on that guy. He's going to be able to get it to him. Yeah, there he is. Iced Hennessy. Who else on a nice summer day in Tulsa? What else would you rather have than a little bit of iced Hennessy? Using that running threat of Maddox to make the... You have to respect it as the user of Tulsa. You have to send somebody, you have to do something, and then That's going to leave somebody open. Good find there by Maddox and IQ Truth to pick up that first down. Now a 1st and goal at the 1. Trio halfback weak. Probably a QB run here if I had to guess. Yes, it is indeed. And Maddox, Superman dives right into... See? Dirty tactics. Dirty tactics by Tulsa. Maddox was already in for the touchdown and midair. And the guy came and just speared him right in the gut. Wes, come on, brother. But that is a touchdown for Toledo. They are on the board 9-7. And actually, this is a good time for us to go to our next game break of UAB and USF while this kickoff is happening. USF still down by 7 here early in the 2nd quarter, but they are threatening down at the UAB 10-yard line here. Going to give it to our guy, number 27. That run right up the gut, just takes it all the way in himself. Touchdown for the Bulls, and look at the dance moves. Look at the dance moves. It's a common trend where you're going to see throughout that game a lot of dancing going on between UAB and USF, but the Bulls tie that one up at 7 apiece. But the big plays keep on coming in this one. Tulsa, their 2nd play after giving up that touchdown. Again, going back to that out, and again, it is Falk. And look at the moves on this man in that open field. Can he take it all the way? Not quite. Doesn't quite have the wheels there. That's number 23 on Toledo, hawking him down from behind. That's 3 catches for 91 yards. Been the guy here for Tulsa in the early stages of this game, and he has been doing his duty. Him in Canada doing all the heavy lifting here for the Tulsa offense so far. So audibling down to a different formation. Looks like we are going to go back to Canada on a run up the gut here. See if we can find a little space for him. I mean, we did. We found more space than I initially thought when that play started. A 2nd and goal now at the 5 for Tulsa. Trying to get this back to a 2-score lead. Flipping through our different formations. Finding what we want to go to. Going back to some wide bunch here. Go to the RPO. Let's see how Tulsa's defense... I knew I was going to do that a ton. Toledo's defense is going to react. Still a lot in the box. Still enough guys over there to watch that. Yeah, just nothing really doing. I think Toledo's got that formation pretty figured out. He's got enough numbers to watch the RPO over on the right. He keeps enough guys in the box to watch that run. Even that slant on the left didn't get open at all. Gotta say, I think we got to chalk that play against Toledo here. But again, we're seeing that Toledo goal line defense really helps keep them alive in these games. Having the guy who can hawk down Falk on that big run, that's a touchdown against a lot of teams, and then trust your defense down here. A little bend it, but don't break. Well, we'll see. I don't know what happens here. They might break, but at least we got them to a 3rd and goal at the 9, which is a great spot for the defense to be in. Let's see what Tulsa is trying to draw up here. Maybe looking for that back line. Not going to have it. Going to go underneath back to... No, that's Jared Sturm. That's the Sturm Kerman. Getting it down to the 2-yard line, 4th and goal. You got to think Tulsa is going to keep the pedal down here and go for this, especially against an offense like Toledo, where we've already forced a couple turnovers. Kind of been, I don't want to say just luck, because it is because of how good Tulsa's defensive line is, but we just forced 2 fumbles on the quarterback. So is that something we can fully rely on? Probably not. Let's keep the pressure on, try to get some points here. Going with a speed option, which is a wild play call, and I love it. But the edge comes in pretty untouched, but Canada will take it, cuts it up right through the middle there, hits him with the Cam Ward-Selly touchdown for Tulsa. They do get that 2-score lead back here, 3 minutes left in the half. We'll jump ahead just a little bit here as Toledo's got the ball at their own 45. Seeing some tight open now, so we are mixing in the formations, at least drive by drive, which is honestly something I do pretty often too, but going right back to a bench type of play like what we saw out of Deuce Close, but this time out of tight open. So instead of it being our tight ends on those out routes, now it is going to be the wide receivers, and that time that is JT Truth getting open against that man coverage and getting a nice chunk of change there for Toledo, putting them to Tulsa's 39-yard line. Now going back to tight open. Yeah, it is something I like to do, so I can't say anything about it. If you find a formation, you know, you can just run it for a whole drive or something. And there is that wheel route from the halfback, something you always have to have eyes on if you're going against this Toledo team. Something he loves because it works. It works incredibly well. 1st and 10 at the 25. Toledo trying to get something going here before half. I believe this will take us to the 2-minute warning. And Toledo has certainly found something they like out of this tight open. It's going to be a little cover 2 here from Tulsa. I like the mix-up we're seeing from the Tulsa defense. A lot of different zone, mixing in some man blitzes, doing a lot of different things. Finds... Look like we had. Look like we had. I believe that was Iced Hennessy going up the seam there, but a great recovery by the Tulsa defense. A jump ball, and I still thought Hennessy might come down with that, but it does get knocked loose. A good find there from Tulsa, or from Toledo. Oh my God. It's so often. It is so friggin' often. It's just because both their team names start with, oh, what a stiff arm. Just because both their team names start with a T, I think, and they're short. So I get them confused in my mind. But Emmanuel on that carry out to the left side, throwing a nasty stiff arm down on that Tulsa defense. A 3rd and 2, staying in that tight open. So in Notre Dame's tight open, I don't remember if they have a speed option out of here. I know some tight opens do, some don't. I'll be interested to see if that's something we see Toledo go to. We saw Tulsa just score on one. See if Toledo's going to answer back. Doing quite a few, looks like protection things here. Gonna be dropping back to pass. We've got the flats going, looking for some corner routes, but that Tulsa defensive line, there they come, man alive. They're just like a bunch of piranhas. You dropped a leg of a cow in the Amazon River, and they are swarming after AJ Maddox right now. Toledo, smart call here. Settle for your 3. Make it a 1-score game. We've had some close calls on the Toledo defensive side of things here as well, so a lot could happen still here before half. And just like that, Toledo forces the 3 and out and will be back on offense for the last minute 15 here before halftime. They could potentially, even with the things that have gone against them here, still get this lead before half. So now we're going to be in gun cluster. I want to say this is the main formation we're going to see throughout the rest of the game, but like I said, I didn't really pay super close attention as that game was actually going on, so we will see. Gun cluster going right to our left flat there, and another big boy stiff arm, this time from Evan Spear. Boy, these the Toledo boys are really telling this Tulsa defense, y'all better get your weight up. Get in that weight room, boys. We are throwing you around here. Emmanuel on the last drive, Spear on this one, just tossing them off like rag dolls. Gets Toledo to the Tulsa side of the field. 71 seconds left. Toledo still holding on to 1 timeout. I think that's they got enough time. Going right back to our cluster, and Maddox finding space that time. This able to weave his way through the rabid dogs of the Tulsa defensive line, and Maddox takes that one for a nice gain, putting him down to the 35. A gain of 14 on that run by AJ Maddox. I liked what Tulsa did on defense there, though. It looked like a cover 4 match. We were on our left side quarter flat, so we could help out on those drags and crossers coming from the left. So we got to watch out. Oh, it actually is going to be a run, and there goes Isaacs. That is that 98 speed with gold shifty. What a change of pace back you can throw in there with Emmanuel as your lead guy. Then we get a gold shifty like we have there with Isaacs. An unbelievable 1-2 punch in that Toledo backfield. Always got to be keeping eyes on those run plays. Staying in gun cluster, going ahead and flipping it. I mean, gotta watch drags. It's going to be a lot of mesh, corner routes, things like that. Trying a little kind of mini flood over to the left. But man, those 2 shallow ones were awful close together. And that Tulsa defensive line able to get on in there, brings them down for another sack. A 3rd and 8 now for Toledo. Staying in our gun cluster, 47, just about untouched. Like he got within a breath of that quarterback before he even met any resistance that time. So now we're going back to that mesh and finding the underneath of number 2, that JT Truth. 4 catches for 110 yards, gets wide open on that right flat. The meshes, if we're going to be staying, I don't think we can call too much match against Toledo for the most part, just because you run so many meshes and drags and things like that match coverage does not love. So we're going to go with a cover 2 this time, and everybody just backing up. I don't know if we shaded over the top there, but those hooks were getting way far back there for Tulsa, so Toledo takes an easy one underneath. Time is a ticking here in the first half, though, with Toledo being out of timeouts. Had to take their last one after that sack by Tulsa. 13 seconds left, 2nd and 3 at the 9. We are going to come out and spike this ball. Makes sense. Keep your options alive. Keep your shot at a touchdown alive here. So now we got a 3rd and 3, 11 seconds left. Let's see what Toledo's going to go to. So I think this is probably where we're going to be staying in cluster. We have to watch that halfback out of the backfield. We have to watch those wheel routes. That's already 4 sacks on the day, just by the way, from the Tulsa Golden Hurricane defense. Those boys up front doing what they do. So it is going to be gun cluster. But with the halfback, no, because the halfback on that side, he does like to sneak him out from there. So I have number 3 kind of pushing everybody vertical, and then the halfback underneath. Tulsa, though, good recovery, good, it looked like switch or click on to make sure we get that tackle. I'm not sure how T. Isaacs was able to hold onto that ball even, but he does, and it sets up a first and goal at the 1. We're going to come out and spike this one. Takes 3 seconds off the clock, so 4 seconds left in the half. We're at the 1. We got to go for the score here. Got to go for the score here. Toledo's offense has really been moving the ball well here. We got to believe we can get 2 yards. And really, if we don't see anything really quick, you could throw this away if you really wanted to. We're going back to deuce close. Read flat wheel. That would be my guess. And I have no idea what to do to stop it. You just hope. You just hope for the best. You got to pick like one thing to user and hope that's where they go to. Because I don't know of a way to guard everything on this play. I just don't know a way. And that is a touchdown for Toledo. Look at that move by Mr. Brown. Did you see that? Wait a second. Did he just do like a little breakdancing stand on his head move here? Oh, he did a cartwheel. Okay. Cartwheel right into the wall, right into the fans here. The rabid fans of Tulsa I believe they started throwing some things at that Toledo wide receiver. You know, the culture of the team goes to the culture of the fans. They're taking some cheap shots at the Toledo players here too. I saw a beer can, I believe, just pegged Brown right, or whoever that was that scored, right in the head. But that is a touchdown for Toledo. That is going to take us to halftime here. A little short kick. Number 77 gets his moment in the sun, wants to make a play happen. It gets brought down. So that's going to take us to half. The 17-16 ball game here. Let's throw back to our studio where we can go over some halftime highlights. Hey, how are you? So what a first half between these guys. Like we expected, that Tulsa defensive line has been a huge game wrecker for Toledo. Those 2 fumbles forced on AJ Maddox. Tried to take off and run the one time, the other time just staying in the pocket, and that stunt just came in totally free. You have to try to account for that Tulsa defensive line, and I don't know how to do it. We'll see if Toledo's going to be able to figure it out in the second half. A Falk on the Tulsa offensive side has definitely been their breakout player here in this game, but also having that halfback, Ben Canaday, really helped open things up for that Golden Hurricane offense. I like the pace they're playing with, the different formations, audibling at the line, all that different stuff, keeping the defense on their heels, like what we're seeing from Tulsa here so far. Toledo, finding some really good stuff in gun cluster. That's one of the best formations in the game. That's why a lot of people like that Notre Dame playbook. There's just a lot of good passing options you can do out of there, a lot of good run options out of there. I believe we're going to be seeing mostly gun cluster here in the second half, and it makes a ton of sense. It's been working fantastic for Toledo. Wondering if we're going to see more of that 1-2 punch at halfback between Emmanuel and Isaacs. The run game has been working pretty well for the Rockets in a way to kind of neutralize that Tulsa pass rush, utilize that run game, mix in a little play action, and hope you can get a little bit of time. We'll see what kind of adjustments are going to happen here in the second half. Before we get to it, though, we do have 3 user game highlights to go over here at halftime. Didn't mean to keep that on game break, but it is fine. First, let's go to Colorado State taking on North Texas down in Denton, and just an unbelievable shootout of a game that happened. That this actually probably would have been game of the week if it wasn't for Toledo and Tulsa coming in clutch at the last second here. So 0-0 early on in this one, 4.5 minutes left in the first. Colorado State dropping back to pass, and McMillan finding a tight window deep downfield. That McMillan of Colorado State really showing out, really making his case to be the new breakout star of the Dynasty here, along with his receiver number 9 of Colorado State. What a game these two guys had. He finds him down the left sideline there for another Colorado State touchdown. 21-7 now. The Rams looking to add on here before the end of the first half. Dropping back to pass yet again is McMillan. This time rolling to his right, this time going up deep. Looked like a missed switch stick there by Crizzle in North Texas. Leaves who else but number 9 again, taking that one in for the touchdown. That was 208 yards, 10 for 11, and 4 touchdowns before halftime for McMillan. But North Texas is not going to go down easy. Dropping back to pass here, finding that streak on the left side, taking that one in for what, a 91-yard touchdown with less than a minute to go before half. North Texas fighting back here, the Mean Green. 38-14 now in the second half. Just about 30 seconds gone by in the third quarter. North Texas looking to keep the pressure on, dropping back to pass again, and again finding that left streak. Burns by the Colorado State defense, takes that one in for the Mean Green touchdown, but Colorado State's offense keeping the pressure on. 38-21. This was like 2 plays later. Dropping back back, giving it off to his big boy. Look at the big dumper, number 25. Look at that big thick boy taking it all the way down. Nobody on North Texas is gonna catch him, and that is gonna do it for this one. Colorado State gets the win, 65-42. 1162 yards of offense between these two teams. Somehow no points scored in the fourth quarter. Not sure what happened there, but I did want to check the receiving stats for that number 9 and that outside guy on North Texas. So that is Kareem Worthy. 4 catches, 165 yards, 4 touchdowns on the day. In 93 speed, 91 excel. What a game for that lad. And how about the North Texas receiver, Jacaden Ferguson? 10 catches, 268 yards, and 3 touchdowns. What a duel those two receivers put on in this ball game. But Colorado State is the one that comes away with the victory in that one. Let's go to our next highlights. We're going to go to James Madison taking on the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, and Hawaii with the ball first here. But this is what we come to expect from James Madison. The user defense right over the middle of the field. A little bit of an underthrown ball there by the Hawaii quarterback for Mr. Spence there. Interception, JMU's defense forcing turnovers and then turning them into points. Very common thing we are going to see here when we look at the Dukes. So we got Cam Dyer in the backfield. That's right. It took me a second to remember that. This is first play after that interception, and Cam Dyer is going to do Cam Dyer type things here on that little QB orbit RPO. Gets everybody committed to go over to the left. Dyer takes it down the right sideline. Nobody on Hawaii is going to be able to keep up with that man. Touchdown for James Madison, puts them up an early 7-0. Now Hawaii fighting back, still only down by 7 in the second quarter. Very impressive game from Hawaii against James Madison, but 4th and goal, looking for the back line, and it gets knocked out. James Madison's defense stands tall on the goal line there. Then on the ensuing drive now, we got James Madison facing their own 4th and 1, looking for that right flat, finding his man, and then even the tight end is outrunning the Hawaii defense. No tackles, going in for that user strip. You got to give it a shot, but it is a first down for James Madison. Looking to take advantage of that goal line stand. Now a 1st and goal. Give it to your guy right up the gut. Number 33 wiggles his way through there right into the end zone. A little slam dunk on the Hawaii goal post. 2 touchdown for James Madison. Hawaii now down 21-0. Another 4th and goal here in the 3rd quarter, but they are going to be trying their darndest. They are not going to go down quite that easy. Dropping back to pass, finds his little curl route in for the touchdown, 21-7. But unfortunately, that's about all that happened. Whoops. Still hitting the wrong button sometimes. I will get better at that, I promise. But unfortunately, that's all Hawaii was able to get on the board here. JMU added 14 more in the 4th quarter. Wins that one 35-7. James Madison starting the season. Currently ranked number 15. Might go up after that game. We will see. Good start, though, for the Dukes. And a good fight there, honestly, by Hawaii. To have as low of an overall team as he's got and put up a game like that, not bad. So one more game for us here is going to be UTSA taking on Army up in West Point, if you couldn't tell from the end zone there. So UTSA with the ball here, 3rd and 2 at Army's 3-yard line, looking to get on the board early, trying to set that tone for the Roadrunners, making this long trip up to New York, taking on the Black Knights. Dropping back to pass out of the pistol. Let's see what we can find here. This back left safety of Army, what are you doing there, brother? What? I gotta rewind this for a second. Watch this back left safety. This guy that's gonna end up, he's standing out of bounds up here. Where are you off to there, friend? Where I don't know where he's going, but he ends up giving up a touchdown to UTSA, and the Roadrunners on the board first. Army looking to answer back here. 1.5 left in the first. Little empty set here for the Black Knights. Still running a veer and shoot playbook, finding that drag underneath, and big boy number 87 fights his way through 3 UTSA defenders, takes that one in for the score. Army gets back on the board, makes it 14-7, looking to extend that lead here, finding the wheel route out to the right, and that platinum, not even platinum, Heisman downhill, lighting up on that halfback. UTSA not going to be able to make that tackle. Give it right back to him, right up the gut. Give your salute there, brother. Touchdown for the Black Knights, and they end up winning that one 30-17. As that Army team is really starting to come together. I think Timeless Raven's really putting some things together. It's very difficult to rebuild these Service Academy teams, but Army and Elevated Aconda at Navy have both done very good jobs with what they have been dealt. So that is it for our halftime highlights here. I think we can just take it back to our main event, get back to the second half here between Toledo and Tulsa. We'll actually pick this one up here pretty shortly after they resume. We just missed one little 8-yard play here from the Golden Hurricane. Now we're switching to a little RPO over out to the right. Javon Marshall, a name we have not called yet today. Awful dicey call on that RPO, but I mean, we saw Toledo got something kind of similar there, close to an interception, ended up breaking the tackle, but this time Marshall actually takes it for a gain of about 30 and a huge first down for Tulsa, looking to get this lead right back here at the start of the second half. Takes it to Toledo's 34-yard line. Now we're going to audible back to our wide bunch. Okay, I mean, I like this formation for actually passing the ball here. There's not a ton to go to. We're going to try to go deep over the middle. An unbelievable coverage there by Charles. Just nowhere really to go. Toledo's got defense figured out for that wide bunch. Because again, he had the numbers out there to watch the RPO. We had the numbers to watch the run. Try to drop back and get a pass. There was just nowhere for Tulsa to go on there. Great defense by Toledo. And they will take over at their own 20. Back to Deuce Close going back. Oh my goodness, what a tackle. All right, let's jump ahead a little bit. Toledo's got it moving here a little bit onto Tulsa's side of the 50-yard line at the 44. A first and 10 for the Toledo Rockets, staying in our cluster, which I think is what we've been in most of this drive. I mean, that's kind of the trend we've seen with Toledo. I mean, no, they started in Deuce Close on this drive, actually. So they have mixed it up on this drive a little bit. But again, going back to those meshes, I think we see Tulsa staying in a lot of different match and man, which really has a hard time with, I mean, anything has hard. Meshes are so hard to defend. Then you like have to have 5-yard hooks, or else all your hooks are just playing back so far that you can just throw it to either of them. And then if you have the 5-yard hooks, that opens up the middle of the field. It's a pain. It's really a pain. But now we got a 3rd and 3 after the good run stuff there by Tulsa. Of course, after we talk about at halftime how I like what Toledo's been doing with the run game, it gets stuffed immediately. And Toledo's not a huge runner of the ball here anyway. Here comes another mesh to the left side, that time wide open. He did kind of get bumped there by the user a little bit. I'm wondering if that's what threw off that timing. I don't know, because that's an awful wide open guy. Maybe the pressure in his face, I'm not sure, but you can't get much more open than that gentleman just was. And that is going to set up a 4th and 3 though. AJ Maddox misses that throw. 18 for 25, 227 yards and a couple touchdowns though. Still a solid game for Maddox as long as he can hold on to that football. Stadium Pulse fully rocking here. The Tulsa rock ya like a hurricane. The crowd going bananas here. Going to be a little Tampa 2. I would wonder if we're shading underneath here to try to watch kind of those quick over the middles. If we saw his full play art, we could tell. If he has, I mean, they're definitely playing at 5. They are definitely playing at 5, and a beautiful time to go to the streak and find iced Hennessy deep down the middle of the field. A similar thing we tried to get earlier on that Tampa 2. Maybe he saw it a touch too late, and the safety was able to get back there in time. This time, though, iced Hennessy, no one near him, takes it in for the Rockets. Touchdown, 8-point lead for Toledo. Which actually, again, let's throw it to a game break here because I think this timing works out great. It does. So UAB has found themselves a 13-7 lead in this ball game. 4 minutes to go in the third, but USF down at the 1-yard line looking to take the lead, I believe, for the first time in this game. Yeah, because UAB scored first, then UAB's added on a couple field goals since then. So going for their first lead, find that whip over on the left side, and again, hit him with the dance moves. Hit him with some more dance moves there. USF taking the 1-point lead there against the Blazers of UAB. Just 2 plays later, and Tulsa is back across the 50-yard line. We found Marshall again for a nice gain on the play right before this. Now we're going a little drag, and again, that one kind of underthrown or thrown behind him as well. Similar to what we saw Ramey do that led to an interception there in the first half. I don't know, those over the middle throws Ramey really kind of been struggling with. And there's Canada trying to get something going up the middle, but Toledo all over that one. Now we got a 3rd and 7 for Tulsa. Yeah, I love, the audibling between these different formations, like keeping the pressure on with a no huddle. Really like what we see out of Tulsa's offense here. Going, let's see, what different routes are we doing here? Going a quick little in. You got different choice routes going out on the field here as well. We got to think the user is going to be following that in on A. Yep, so we got to try RB. Get in front of him. Get in front of him. Get in front of him. Who else? Jeff Falk. Been the absolute superstar of the Tulsa offense in this one. Way to get in front of him. Use that big body, box him out, and come down with that catch. First down for Tulsa. And boy, did the offense need it. Now we got A right over the middle. Good find there. And of course, it's Jeff Falk. Of course, it is Jeff Falk. Falk him up there, brother. Touchdown for Tulsa. Are we going for 2? I mean, minute 40 left in the third. You don't have to. So the benefit of going for 1 is then if Toledo does score, it's still an 8-point game and you can go for 2 next time. Whereas if you don't get this, then it's a 9-point game and a flip of what we saw earlier with Tulsa having that 9-point lead. But the Golden Hurricane are going to decide to go for 2. We're going to trust our guy on the outside and he comes down with it again. Use that big body, box him out, and we have got a tie ball game with 1:40 to go. 1:40 to go in the third quarter, obviously, as we are now in the fourth quarter. And Toledo right back across the 50 here. Got a 2nd and 6 at Tulsa's 47-yard line. Now we're breaking out some of the bunch strong offset. My favorite formation. We'll see what he is going to be calling out of here. I actually don't know what he really does out of bunch strong offset. I know a lot of the like dagger concepts, going back to the run. The Notre Dame, their bunch strong offset has like every good run in the game. It's a lot like Miami's. We have every good run, and I believe they have all the good passes too. One of the best bunch strong offsets, them in Miami. So we're going to motion the halfback out to set up the QB run. That's a thing Notre Dame has. A lot of other bunch strong offsets don't. Those quarterback runs. So having a quarterback like Maddox able to hold on to the ball that time, huge benefit in an offense like Notre Dame's. I still think it's a very good offense, even if you don't have a mobile quarterback or the most mobile quarterback. But I think having one that can run like Maddox can, or Deuce Knight, would actually is what really elevates it to like a top of the line playbook, in my opinion. So we are going to be calling some more match coverage here for Tulsa. I don't know if they have zone drops on. I guess we can see if they are actually matching. Right over the middle, wide open. Yeah, see, I think that was the dagger kind of idea here. Let's see if we have 7 on the post. Oh no, that was looked like corner strike. But we streaked the point receiver and had a post on our tight end. Or it was dagger, but similar kind of thing. We had a corner out on the outside, a streak on the point, a post on the inside. So essentially how you'd usually run dagger, but added a corner out instead of a drag. Interesting. It certainly worked. That is a 1st and 10 for Toledo down in the red zone now, staying in our bunch strong offset. You definitely have to watch out corner outs out of this formation for sure. You almost want to drag one of your flats over on that side to the outside just to make sure we're trying to guard the corner outs best we can. Stem down corner outs are just so hard to defend. But that time it is going to be a run for Emmanuel up the gut, trying to hit him, get him off guard, try to bounce one outside on that pin pull toss. But that edge defender of Tulsa forces him right back inside to the help, brings him down just for a gain of 5. Ball at the 11, 2nd and 5. Now we're going back to our gun cluster, which I really like the runs out of here too, because your runs are mostly going to the side with your tight end and 2 wide receivers, going back to the mesh. And again, that man coverage is really, look at the effort by number 3, CeeLo Brown. What was that song? Forget You. We'll give the PG version. Says forget you to that Tulsa defense. Gets through like 3 tacklers, gets in a tackle battle, eventually, thankfully, somehow able to bring. It really sounds like I'm rooting for Tulsa. I'm just realizing that. I'm not. I'm impartial. I don't really care who wins that much. It's just a fun game. But I realized as I was saying that, it's like, man, I'm really making it sound like I'm pulling for Tulsa. I promise I am not. So 1st and goal now for Toledo. Going with that run right back up the gut. Emmanuel trying to find some space against this Tulsa defense, unable to do so. A 2nd and goal at the 4. Yeah, Emmanuel, I could have sworn IQ Truth said he was going to change that guy's last name, and I wish he did. I'm not even going to attempt it. So some wing slot week, a new formation here for the Toledo Rockets. I honestly don't really remember much of what Notre Dame has in this one. Motioning number 3 in. Is this a quarterback run maybe? It is. Yeah, just motioning that wide receiver in, just for whatever reason, sparks a quarterback run in my mind. Anything with that kind of motion, I always think it's a quarterback run. And it was. So last year when Old Dominion played Toledo, Toledo was in this situation and just went QB run, QB run, QB run, and ended up getting stuffed. I'm wondering if that's what we're going to see here. We saw a QB run on 2nd and goal. What are we going to see on 3rd and goal? A QB run. So that trips formation's been a QB run every time. And look at the fight from Maddox, though, by the way. Those are the big Toledo boys right in the middle of that field. But Maddox fighting his way through there. 4th and goal. Tried to get the run shoot in there, and we had it. But look at the running back block on this. Number 22. Emmanuel, look at him block the Tulsa user. He's coming in free at the very last second. The halfback picks him up and gets the stop, doesn't get the stop, stops the stops the Tulsa user from stopping AJ Maddox, and that is a touchdown for the Rockets. They are taking a lead with 3.5 minutes to go. Let's take it to another game break here between UAB and USF. UAB's offense now down by 4, but a third and goal down at the 1. 5 minutes left in this one. We got that single back with the 3 tight ends, but surprise, we are actually dropping back to pass. Look at the moves of this tight end. He kind of ice skated there, almost moonwalked a little bit. Then look at this dance. I've never seen this celebration before in my life. Never. Look at him go. Look at the moves of that man. He saw all the dancing USF was doing, say, you know what? We can hit you with some dance moves too. Touchdown for UAB. They are taking that lead with 5 minutes to go. We've got, well, actually one more check-in for that game still coming up. We got 2nd and 5 here for Tulsa on their response drive, and I just want to point out something that happens on this one. We do have Deuce Knight in that backfield, left-hander, not as good a thrower of the ball. We have that deep post open, but Deuce Knight kind of underthrows him a little bit, but that is something we saw Tulsa's starting quarterback do too. But at least this one wasn't intercepted like the other couple that we saw. That one falls incomplete. It's going to be a 3rd and 5 now for the Golden Hurricane. I guess we can stick with this for just a second. Why the heck not? See what happens. See if they can pick up this first down with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left to go. Deuce Knight. Oh, that's tough. Honestly, kind of lucky number 14 didn't jump up and make a play on that. That was so like thrown on a rope and kind of underthrown that number 14, that safety for Toledo, was very close to actually making a play on that one, which really would have been devastating. We got a little auto motion play, a couple, gosh, so many choice routes. I just never know what those choice routes are doing, but beautiful find on that halfback wheel. Hit Toledo with a little of their own medicine there. Sneak that wheel out. Find them. First down for Tulsa. 3 minutes to go. I guess we can just stick with it at this point since they are at the 47-yard line. Under 3 minutes now. Going with a run up the gut. And man, the run game for neither team's really been there in the second half. As much as we saw Canada being able to break some plays open in that first half, we saw Toledo's run game, when they went to it, was actually working pretty well. Going for a quick little spot route over on the left side. That's same route we nearly threw that interception on earlier, but that time had a little bit more space. Still a good secure catch. Make sure we come down with that one. 3rd and 4, Tulsa. 2.5 minutes to go. Time ticking on down here for the Golden Hurricane. Big drive going back to the RPO. A little tight end pop right up the middle. There is the online diva herself, Alex Earl, coming down with that catch for Tulsa, putting them to the 39-yard line. Tight end pop RPOs are just so good. They are unbelievably good. Great find there by Tulsa. Keep the drive alive. See, we're going to do one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Now we're going to some double mug on defense, something we hadn't seen Toledo go to at really any point, I don't believe, in this game. Ooh. Okay, 2-minute warning. The stemmed up curl route on the halfback. That's interesting. We'll see if that's what Tulsa's going to go to here. Other side of the 2-minute warning, still that 1st and 10, ball at the 29. We are going to try to sneak a run in here, give it back to our guy Canada, see if we're able to get any space. That safety's going to come down untouched, keep him just for a gain of 1. Not the worst thing in the world for us, honestly, if we're Tulsa. Let that clock run a little bit here. Minute 50, 2nd and 9. Yeah, what do we go to here? If he's going to be staying in mid-blitz, and his mid-blitz is tough. He used to run it a lot, and credit to Toledo and IQ Truth for not, it used to be like his only defense he would call. So credit, oh, I like the screen idea, and it was there if we were able to get it off. But credit to IQ Truth and Toledo for not just running double mug anymore and going to some other defenses. So big shout out to him for that. But now we got a 3rd and 9. I mean, it's been mid-blitz every time, but he does zone people out of it a lot. So it's not just a straight up mid-blitz. RB underthrown again. Same exact thing. Same exact way we threw that interception in the first half. That's there. That's not a bad read. If this ball just ends up a little more towards this back left pylon, I think this is a touchdown for Tulsa. Like if we can get a little more, yeah, just a little more that way. Just not a good ball. Again, Josh Ramey selling out. Maybe just a theory I'm going to throw out here, that maybe Josh Ramey was very close with Jamie Landman, the former Tulsa quarterback, the current Old Dominion quarterback. And he's potentially devastated that Landman transferred away and is getting his revenge in his own way against Wes and the Tulsa coaching staff. Just a theory we're workshopping right now, but I think there's some potential to it. So let's see if Tulsa's defense is going to be able to get one last stand here, give the offense one last shot for Ramey to underthrow another ball and to throw another interception. A pistol Y off trips. We got to imagine Toledo's just going to try to run this ball. You have to worry about an RPO here for sure. And he is just coming down sniffing the butt of his defensive tackle there, which does help run defense because the offensive line logic in this game is pretty stupid. So we'll see if that's still what we're going to do. No, we are going to come down, try to use or shoot it, but the blocking is phenomenal. 19 kind of gets tripped up by his own guy a little bit. Does force him out of bounds, though. That's huge. That's huge. That keeps some hope alive here from Tulsa. We don't have to burn a timeout just yet, because that would be game over with a 40-second play clock, just about. We can keep all 3 timeouts and stop the clock. See if we can get down here and shoot or run with this safety. Yeah, get right up on his butt. Get right up. Get right on in there. Yeah, get in there. Because then, yeah, the offensive line just kind of dumbs out, and a lot of times they'll just forget the defensive tackle exists and just let him shoot straight into the backfield, or your user can. Either way, you're looking pretty good. See? User can just shoot right on in there, no problemo. That's the big problem with that double mug too, is especially if you take one of the safeties. Oh, rock him to sleep. That's rude. Believe it or not, Tulsa being rude to their opposition here. With that double mug mid blitz, if you grab one of the safeties and bring him down and mug the gap, it's just impossible. It doesn't matter how many people you're blocking, what your assignments all look like. Somebody's going to shoot through free. Fucking nailed it every single time. Now, a 2nd and 12, gotta imagine some more run game coming here. Again, coming down with that safety, coming through, getting in that backfield, a gain of nothing, a 3rd and 12. Now, if you're Toledo, do you try to pass this ball and end the game? Or do you run it and be okay just taking Tulsa's last time out? There's a chance if you run it, you can pick up the first down anyway. Not much of a chance, but a chance. We are going to go for the pass. We're going to go back to that mesh, find that right side. This time the safety is down there to help out and make that tackle, and it is going to give one more shot, potentially, for the Tulsa offense. It's 4th and 6. I don't know why I assumed Toledo was punting. It makes a ton of sense. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I guess it makes sense to go for it. Because really, if you don't get it, you're giving up like 20 yards of field position, roughly. But if you get it, the game's over. I think you go for it here for sure. 4th and 6, going back to our gun cluster. I think we know what to expect here. It's going to be a mesh with a halfback wheel. We had the mesh getting open on the left, but the Tulsa defensive line flies on in there. 3 sacks on the day for that guy. You can try to pronounce that name yourself. Gets in there, forces the incompletion on the wide open, had him on the mesh again there. Would have had the first down, would have been game over, but instead Tulsa's getting one last shot. Ball at their own 40, 29 seconds to go, no timeouts remaining. But at least we got a chance. At least we got a shot. Now, for the love of God, Ramey, if you underthrow another open deep pass, that would be crazy. We got a Heisman quick drop lighting up on our tackle. Find that out route, and it's Falk again. That Falk has just been everywhere for the Tulsa offense in this one. I don't know if he got out of bounds, but no, he did not, because there goes the clock. So we're just going to flip this play, probably look for Marshall on the same kind of thing here. Not really going to have it. Oh, yes, we do. Never mind. Marshall, get big on him, brother. That was great coverage by Toledo. It looked like Marshall just kind of phased through the defender there to be able to come down with that ball. But hey, it's a first down for Tulsa. Time running out those 6-5, getting one last play off here, trying to go deep. Got to take your shot, but the help safety is there. Number 14 makes a play on that one, and Toledo is going to escape Tulsa with the gigantic top 10 victory. Great game between our guys, IQ Truth and Wes. Fantastic matchup. That Tulsa defensive line is a huge problem. We actually got one more game break we got to go to for the end of UAB and USF. Also a great finish in this one with 9 seconds left. USF has the ball at the 2-yard line, a 3rd and goal. USF trying to take the late lead. They are going to go with a run play, and the Superman dive by number 27 gets him in there. And then he just disappears. He scores the touchdown, says, you know what, I'm out of here. We're good. We're done with that one. USF is going to get that win 24-23. Yeah, what a game between our two guys here. Toledo's going to stay number 1 in the country, move them to 3-0, 2-0 in the Mountain West already with their win over Rice as well. Tulsa's going to go down to 2-1. Shouldn't affect their ranking all that much, but just a great game between these two teams. and a fun preview for what's in store for the Mountain West throughout this season. So we go over to our video board here. That's right, I actually guess should change that. Toledo, and I can get the score blocker thing out of here. Toledo gets that win 31-24, 400 yards of offense to 367. A very even matchup. I mean, like I said, Tulsa's defensive line was definitely one of the biggest factors in the entire game, forcing those turnovers, getting after the quarterback. Just a great game between these guys. We can check their player stats here really quick. Maddox ends up going 326, 2 touchdowns, gets sacked 4 times, 26 for 34, and those 2 big fumbles though. Rushing wise, Emmanuel goes 9 for 40, Isaacs 8 for 35, enough to keep the defense honest at least, and that's all you're really looking for if you run an offense like Toledo's. JT Truth leading the way at receiver, 9 for 143. Tight end Iced Hennessy 4 for 79 and gets on the board with a touchdown. CeeLo Brown gets on the board with a score as well. Spear throws in 3 for 36. Overall, very balanced game there from Toledo. On the Tulsa side of things, Josh Ramey really did his team no favors in this one. Those 4 interceptions, I really didn't think any of them were that bad of reads, honestly. They all looked like they could have been open, but they were just a little underthrown, a little, I don't know what was going on with him, and that was really the key to the game there. Canada, decent enough day on the ground, again, just enough to keep the defense honest. 16 for 68, 3 broken tackles, gets on the board with a touchdown. Receiving wise, Falk, of course, no surprise there, 6 for 148 and a score. Marshall had a few big plays in there, 3 for 75, got big on him right at the end to at least give the offense a shot. Canada, 3 for 26, scored 1 through the air here as well. Alex Earl got that 1 tight end pop pass. A real breakout game here for the redshirt sophomore Jeff Falk. A great game between these two guys. So now we can go through, see everything else that happened here in week 3, starting with our Platinum Conference, the Mountain West. Rice gets back in the win column there against Arkansas, 68-16. Oregon State takes down Oregon in the Civil War. I know they technically don't call it that anymore, but that's always what I'm going to call it. 48-10. Louisiana mauls Notre Dame, 56-10. Louisiana should, I'd imagine, move up to number 2 with that win against Notre Dame. So we'll have number 1 Toledo, number 2 Louisiana. James Madison takes down Hawaii 35-7. This is going to be a straight sim between us and East Carolina. Best of luck, King Papi Sosa. We'll see what happens there. Utah State takes down FCS 41-0, and Toledo beats Tulsa 31-24. Going down to our Gold Conference, the Conference USA. Georgia State gets a 3-0 with a win over Wake Forest there. Buffalo also gets a 3-0 with a win over Delaware. Let's see, just go to things that haven't happened yet. Bowling Green, again, not going to be playing their CPU game. Hasn't gone well for them so far. They are 0-2 in their sims against the CPU. Will have real problems if they go to 0-3 after a sim against the FCS. Navy takes down an FCS team 48-6, 1-1 on the season, and we saw USF pull off that 24-23 win, delivering the first loss of the season to the UAB Blazers. Down to our Silver Conference, the American. FIU wins whatever that trophy is against FAU. We've got Army took down UTSA. This is going to be a force win for Sam Houston. UNLV unfortunately just had some things come up, which is going to happen from time to time. Let's actually make sure we have that set right now. Okay, and then San Diego State takes down Arizona State 70-13. Rainbow and his Aztec Warriors up to 3-0 on the season. Now our Bronze Conference, the Sun Belt. Georgia Southern 2-1 after their shutout win against the FCS. Southern Miss takes down Louisiana Tech, moves them to 3-0 on the season. Temple gets to 3-0, taking down Miami 28-10. A good win for the Temple Owls. Good to see your internet is back up there, Mr. Bruin, and nice to see you get that win on the board. Appalachian State just hammer Charlotte 86-29. They took that rivalry personally. Washington State, I mean, we still got some time. We'll see. Maybe he'll play that game against Washington for the Apple Cup. We will find out. Fresno State drops 1 to Rutgers there, moves them to 1-2 on the season. Memphis gets a big road win against Mississippi State 31-28. So that is everything that happened in week 3 of the online Dynasty. We will be back. Well, tonight we'll be doing a live stream of an offline Dynasty with Northern Illinois. Then we'll have games of the week for week 4 and 5 since ODU is on bye. Then we'll get into the meat of the Old Dominion schedule starting in week 6. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And again, fantastic game. GG's, IQ Truth, and Wes. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy.